Good morning y buenos días. Welcome back to Cafecito y Croquetas, presented by Stay Tranquilo and Agent Co. And happy Monday, everyone. Buenos lunes, everyone.
Happy
And
Monday.
and a new guy,
Yes.
a new face.
I'm not Andre.
A new face joining us for the first time to
Yes.
share the good news going on this beautiful Monday.
Yes.
The Mad Panther himself, David Hondal. Welcome to
Let's
Cafecito
go.
y Croquetas, dude.
Excited
Welcome to
to
the
be
vibe.
here. Excited
Welcome
to be
the vibe.
here.
You know, it's a nice early
It is
Monday
early.
morning.
It's early. But
It's an early Monday morning, but nonetheless, brother, I'm happy to have you here to
yes,
share.
I'm happy to be here.
Some of the good news. So obviously, you're riding high, right? Good week,
Very high,
good
yep.
weekend for you guys. Obviously, good weekend for
Great
the
weekend for
Panthers.
FIU. Yep.
And but definitely, we're just gonna touch on just some of this good stuff happening
Yep.
around Miami, around our community, and to kind of stay on theme with the whole vibe of the show. There's actually a police officer right now in North Miami Beach that started a lunchtime Domino Club
Oh, yeah.
at Dr. Michael Kropp. And basically, his goal, connect communities, connect cultures, connect, different backgrounds, and kind of join everyone through dominoes.
And he's doing this at, so you said what school?
Dr. Michael Kropp,
Nice.
High School in North Miami Beach. And
Cool.
basically he started up this, this domino club with a couple of students. And apparently, from what I've read, it's become kind of a little tradition, right? Instead of kids,
Awesome.
going, being on their phones during lunch,
Yeah.
they go, talk over some dominoes, they just hang out.
That's the way to do it.
The actual cop is there. He's
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
there interacting, playing dominoes
That's
with the
awesome.
kids. So, what do you think about that? What do you think about, hanging
That's-
out, instead of being on your phones during lunch in this
Yeah.
area, you get, you kind of connect with the culture of dominoes. And dominoes spans throughout so many cultures, not
Of
just
course, not just a Cuban thing.
not
but
just Cuban. You have
No.
Dominican, you have Caribbean.
everyone. Yeah.
It's everywhere.
No, it expands. I think it's awesome. I think it's a cool way to obviously integrate different cultures, like you mentioned. But it's like a way to you're sitting down playing dominoes. You're actually talking to people instead of texting people. It's a way that to connect people. It's a way that, first off, it's a blast. We got literally dominoes right here.
Exactly.
We're doing this on a dominoes table, and so it's a great game. It's a great time, and being able to connect that and doing it with a school. And I remember the best things for me about lunch or that one, you're just sitting around with your boys and you're chatting, and that's when really the only time of the day that you get to be with them, without a teacher or being in class. So this is just kind of a unique way to do it. That not only are you eating, but you're playing dominoes. So it's a cool little thing that he started up.
It's awesome. We always talk about it, connecting the next generation with our cultures,
Yeah.
bringing them closer.
It's cool.
Con las tradiciones. So, it's awesome to see, this police officer taking the initiative
Yeah.
to bring them together and, to do something that you don't see a lot, which is just, shooting the stuff over some dominoes and just, getting the face away from technology.
fun,
But,
yeah.
that's just one of the amazing things happening in our community. Obviously, a lot of big events happening. 3 Points Festival over the weekend.
Yes.
At Wynwood.
Yes.
I heard it was a banger.
I heard that too.
I heard it was a banger.
I
heard it was
work.
crazy.
I'm gonna be in the Midtown Wynwood area today. So I remember I was there Thursday, and they were setting everything up. It looked awesome. Every year, I always said I want to go, but I haven't had a chance to go to it. But every story that I see of people there, it looks awesome. So
I know I'm not much of a raver. I'm not the rave type. But if I had to, I think to experience it.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm a headbanging.
Have you
raver.
ever? Because that is 3 Points. Is it more rock or EDM?
It's much. I think it's EDM.
EDM?
It's an
It's more EDM?
It's more of like an EDM.
Okay, so it's kind
sort
of like it's
festival.
kind of basic, not kind of, but Ultra's all EDM too. So.
I think Ultra is more of like an international thing. I think
Yeah,
3
it
Points
is.
is more like a kind of like a
Local, yeah.
kind of thing. But obviously, a very big crowd. A lot of
Oh,
big
for
DJs
sure.
made an appearance. So
Yeah.
and we have a very big EDM community out here, especially people that have come to Florida.
Yeah.
They love EDM music. I'm sure a lot of people travel for it. Another thing happening this weekend is actually starting tomorrow is Miami Fashion Week. We touched on it on
Ooh.
Friday, but obviously Miami Fashion
yeah.
Week for all the you fashion enthusiasts. Obviously, fashion,
Fashionistas?
all the fashionistas.
I mean, of course, I'm already ready for it. I'm
we-
ready for Fashion Week right now.
We scream fashion in the studio.
Yes, exactly.
But
I'm walking down the little catwalk in my jersey.
So definitely gonna be a lot of events happening around town. Different fashion shows, different venues, different activations.
Yeah.
For Fashion Week, and as now the fall season's come up, a lot of
Yes.
food festivals.
That time of year.
You got the South Beach Seafood Festival coming
Yes.
up too. That's gonna be happening, I believe, this week as well.
Oh, really?
A lot of stuff, and
Lots of
everything.
moving.
And the city's starting to move.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of good stuff happening. Another good thing happening in our community. Overtown, I believe, just got a $175 million boost to help that
Nice.
community.
Nice.
So, some big
Hopefully do
developments
some good,
happening
nice
over
things
there.
there.
Hopefully to, boost that community, boost the public services, whether it's parks, whether it's parks and recs, gyms, whatever it may be. So, amazing to see that community getting a boost, such a historic community, so much culture that's gone
Yeah.
through there, a staple down here in Miami. And,
sure.
it's always amazing to see, communities where, the stipulation is, lower income, stuff like that. But obviously to see a community like that, get a much needed support,
Yeah.
Backing
They need the
through the
support.
community, through, whoever it may be, public officials, whatever it may be. But amazing to see a community like that get some work, brighten up that city, fix up the facilities to, not only help, the businesses in that community, but also, just give platforms for the youth to be being raised up in that city to obviously grow and prosper in their environments, in their communities.
Yeah.
And
100%.
now the big thing, right? October's turning up. October's tuning in. We got Halloween coming up. A lot of stuff happening for Halloween. You got your spooky bar crawls.
Yeah.
You got your, the kids already starting to pick up their costumes. So what I want to ask you is, what would you say are your 3 best costumes you've ever pulled off for a Halloween season?
3 best costumes. I know what my number 1 favorite costume is, and it's. I'm gonna save that one for last.
Okay.
I'll start with some other 3. So, I did one that was easy. I was just a giant beer. That one was fun. But actually, for a bar crawl, literally, it was just like a giant beer costume. Another, I've done Han Solo. I'm a big Star Wars guy, so Han Solo was a fun one for me. Went all out for that one. But my favorite costume I've ever done is that most kids, I was a big Jurassic Park guy. Me and Andre were actually big Jurassic Park guys, and I've gone as Alan as from Jurassic Park. Most people would. No, I went one year as a giant T-Rex. I was actually not even from Jurassic Park. I was Aladar from the movie Dinosaur. Have you ever seen this movie?
Yes, it was like an old Disney animation movie.
Yes, but I was literally a full-on head of it, but you can see my little face through it. And he had, for some reason, a giant belly. Like Aladar had this belly. So that is gonna be my favorite costume. I'm gonna get you a picture so you can post it on this thing.
Got you.
But yeah, Aladar is my favorite Halloween costume.
So my best Halloween costumes. So number 3, I'm gonna say I was Nacho Libre one year.
Oh, that's a perfect costume.
But not like luchador outfit. I was like the recreational outfit, like the light blue with the white pants.
Yes.
It's like these are my PJs. These are my recreational clothing.
Yeah.
Dude, amazing.
You gotta bring that back. That's a good one for you.
I might have to.
That's a
I
good
might
one
have to
for
bring
you.
it back. I mean, it was a hit.
Yeah.
It was a hit. Number 2, when I was little, this is like an infamous picture of me and my friends kind of used to make fun of me, but I was a vampire hunter.
Oh, sick.
But I wore like black lipstick and stuff.
Okay, never mind.
I wore like all this like white like clown paint.
Okay,
like,
put that one on the show too.
I really took it up. Like I had like this little like blade that came out of my hand.
Sick.
And I look back at him like, dude, like, why would you let me wear this, bro? It's so bad. It's so
amazing.
bad. So I would say that was number 2. And then number 1, it was the iconic Red Power Ranger. The muscle suit. I was a little kindergarten guy with like an 8-pack, huge pecs, and I was just like, oh, look at me. I'm the Red Power Ranger. So, I would say those are, some of my favorite costumes. But, Halloween obviously is a big time here in Miami. A lot of people,
for sure.
Dressing up now as you kind of, really finally dive into the fall season right before November. I think Halloween is actually on a Friday.
It's a Friday.
On a Friday of all days. It's going to be Friday, Halloween. But, the bar crawls are starting because obviously next weekend's already November. You want to get it all in the way. So a lot of bar crawls happening this weekend.
I got one thing for you, actually. Have you noticed a little bit of a little temperature change?
It is.
I've noticed it's slight, but it's coming.
So we had an early start today, and I went outside, and I was chilly.
Yeah,
it was like a
nice.
balmy like mid 70s, kind of mid to low 70s. It was nice. Like
Which for us is like cold, by the way. Anyone not from Miami listening to this.
I actually had to turn off my AC when I got into my car today.
Wow.
Interesting, right?
Yeah.
It was an interesting, but obviously, the times are changing.
I love it.
We don't have our trees don't change colors here.
No, they don't. They don't.
But the temperature is getting cooler, and obviously, it's always a good vibe. As the holidays, finally kind of deep diving after a long summer, a hot summer. Now you start getting to the holiday season. You get your fall, then you get your Thanksgiving, and obviously Christmas. And we're looking way ahead, but it's an awesome time now. Obviously, a lot of events happen around Miami. And it's a great time for events because, the weather's a little bit cooler.
It's my favorite time of
You're
year.
not as sweaty. We talked about it last time. People actually get to go out enjoy the weather a little bit, do a couple of the outdoor events. And yeah, no, it's amazing. But, and then, one more thing to wrap up the show. Obviously, a little bit on a, wouldn't say a sad note, but it's an inspiring, Nicholas Children's Hospital just recently honored one of the young girls that were affected in the boat crash that happened a couple years back. Obviously we all know the boat crash that took the life of a very young girl, from the Arleta Lourdes high school. But one of the girls that she did make a recovery, obviously she was left, disabled from her injuries, but she was honored, displayed her strength at the Nicholas Children's Ball, advocating for, pediatric health, pediatric services, pediatric emergency services. Gati Puig is her name. Such a strong message to have her out there with her family. Sure. I think there's a picture there of her flexing at the ball, showing her strength, through everything that she's been through the last, couple of years, all the adversity, with her health that she suffered through her injuries. But, an amazing show of strength, from her to be out there and to be honored and to be recognized for her resilience. And, and not only her resilience, but the family's resilience, standing by her side, praying over her. And, it's amazing to see, not only the work of our doctors, but to see, how much strength, the youth has on a generation and, how much strength they can show through their hardships. And unfortunately, it was a massive hardship that she had to go through. Yeah,
no. I sent it, piggyback on everything you said. It's a really nice moment. And it's also, it's inspiring and shout out to her for doing it. Shout out to Nicholas Children's Hospital. So that's a great thing they did by honoring her.
Yeah, so, obviously there's always amazing stuff. There's always amazing stories happening in our community. And, we're so blessed to have this platform to be able to show that with you guys.
Yes.
And, we're only going to keep on ramping it up. We're going to try to bring you the good news every Monday to help you start off the week. Call us your little daily dose of cafecito to get your day started. But with that, Dave, thank you for joining me this morning. Thank you for joining Cafecito y Croquetas presented by Stay Tranquilo Nation Co. And cheers to a beautiful week, everyone.
Cheers.